Hey everyone, and welcome back to our Behind Her Brand Leadership Series. As you all know, we have been interviewing some of the most amazing women from all types of walks of life, from different parts of the world, and we have been loving your feedback that you love the women that we're featuring. They're offering real information, practical information, and more importantly, they're really sharing their honest, true journeys. And so today is no stranger to Behind Her Brand. She's been featured in our magazine. She's been on our Leadership Talk series, I believe, last year. But she is walking in a new season, new marriage, new direction of business, and all type of wonderful things. So we're welcoming today Cathy Johnson.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Kimberly. I'm excited to be here again.
No, absolutely. So before we kind of walk into what you do and all the good things, tell us a little bit about who Cathy Johnson is.
Well, that's all. It's all a work in progress. So I was Cathy Alessandra for almost 30 plus years actually, because I just recently got married. So I am a life and business coach, and I actually publish magazines, as you know, Kimberly. Prior to that, a kids magazine here in the Los Angeles area. And about 11 years ago now, stepped into coaching full time. And in the past, it's been very business focused. It's been, I've been divorced now probably 6 or 7 years. I got remarried in January to my soulmate, the love of my life, a perfect man to walk alongside with me. And so that's a little bit about who I am. I still live in the Los Angeles area, although I think my 5-year dream of having a flat in Scotland looks like it's going to come true. So I'll be spending time and doing retreats there too. So mother of 3 kids, and one happy lady.
Well, I know you have a platform that's all about Yes, I Can. So before you share a little bit about what the platform is about, why is the Yes, I Can mentality very important to you?
Yeah. So, like I kind of mentioned, I'd gone through a divorce. I went through a very difficult time with one of my children in high school with drug abuse. And I found myself in a really deep, dark place. My marriage of, at that point, 27 years looked like it was coming to an end, which it was. My son ended up asked for help and ended up in some rehab, which was great. He's thriving. I had put on a whole bunch of weight, and I was just really questioning life in general and what's this all about. And I knew the first thing I needed to do was get my health in order, because if you don't have your health, right? And so Yes, I Can was literally born on a treadmill in a women's only gym in California, when I was huffing and puffing, and a woman walked in, and she had on her t-shirt, "One woman can." And that was kind of that moment of, well, heck yeah, if she can, I can. Yes, I can do this, right? And it's something that a mantra I still use to this day. I was just about a month ago hiking on the Isle of Iona in Scotland, which is a very spiritual place. And it was a long walk, and I had a hip replacement a few months ago. And my husband is like, you can do this. And I turned to him and I'm like, yes, I can. Right. And so it's really that mantra, that mindset, the motivation that keeps me going every single day. And I think all of us as women get in that place of, we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not enough, period, whatever that is.
Right.
And when we look at, I can do this, I really can. And we believe that. And so I want to support other women in following their dreams and living their best Yes, I Can life too.
So let me ask you, what are some of the things that your platform offers? Because I know you primarily work with more seasoned business owners and professionals, correct?
Mostly, yeah. I mean, it's a combination. I come out as a business coach because, funny enough, women have no problem investing in themselves when it's that. But the fact is I fully believe we cannot do and have a successful business unless we're looking at that life piece, right?
Yeah.
And that's why Yes, I Can really is a lifestyle. And I am actually leaning more into that, the life, life and the spirituality of it all. And especially as I'm getting older, I'm going to be 60 in 2025.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh. It sounds so old, but it's not. And so how do we, how do we really lean into that and
Mhm.
take care of ourselves, right? I mean, there's three pillars to Yes, I Can. It's self-care, sacred space, and support. And, just we, there's nothing selfish about self-care and Yes, I Can, right?
Right.
We have to have self-cares in all area of our lives.
Mhm.
Sacred space, creating boundaries, creating time, even physical space, and support. People like you, people like me, all the people in your magazine, really, the women
Yeah,
that you're featuring, right? They're
exactly.
offering support in one way or another, and we need to band together and have those things in our life to really find that joy and contentment. I believe.
No, I agree with you. You mentioned something that I know is a very powerful word for a lot of us: boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. And I know that comes with living a lifestyle, like you said, of Yes, I Can. And like you said, it encompasses so many different areas. Can you share a time where you had to really put some boundaries, maybe around a situation or just life or what have you, and what you learned from doing that? 'Cause I know that's always a constant topic for women: boundaries.
It is. It really is. And it can be a really difficult time, right? I mean,
Yeah.
certainly for business, I've had to put boundaries in place. And I've been an
Oh,
entrepreneur
hold on a second,
now.
Kathy. Kathy, hold on one second. Your volume went down again.
Oh my. Okay. Well, let's see if the setting.
About boundaries. Yeah.
Boundaries, yes, absolutely. So, I think it really has to do, I've certainly had to put boundaries in place with my business.
Mhm.
And I've been an entrepreneur for, gosh, 31, 32 years now. And in the various things that I've done, having that work-life balance and the boundaries that go with that.
Yeah.
Boundaries as far as, making sure that I'm taking the right client and the right client is coming in, my way as well, right?
Yeah.
Time boundaries. I put a lot of boundaries in place in relation to my values. My values are faith, family, freedom, and making a difference.
Mhm.
And if things don't align with those values, then it's easy to put that boundary in place, right?
Exactly.
And I think there's also those personal boundaries that we sometimes really are challenged with. So there's one that actually came up this weekend that I will transparently share. We got Thanksgiving coming up,
Yeah.
and I now am divorced. So there's another side of that, right?
That's
And
right.
so, whether I spend time with that other person from my past or not in a family situation, that's a boundary that for me, I've had to put into place. And it's a sacrifice in the sense that I don't get to spend some time with my kids, but it's also a boundary for me that's going to be a healthier space to not have to be with that particular person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's a hard, I think for many of us
Mhm.
women, we tend to self-sacrifice and, we try to people please and all of that, right? And so
Yeah.
what are maybe some of those harder boundaries that you might have to put into place, but that actually save your yourself, your psyche,
Yeah.
your well-being, really, your well-being.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that because I think that is a constant. I think that's why boundaries is such a strong topic amongst, women, period, is because we tend to either lean into, let me go ahead and do this and self-sacrifice. And then you're feeling a lot of different things. I've even seen some people say how they battle with people pleasing and because they don't want anyone to be upset or mad or what have you. And so they end up feeling all these different kind of things. But boundaries are actually really healthy. And I think it helps even strengthen relationships more because you can
Yeah,
learn a different new season of respect or just here's where I'm at right now, and the other party can learn to respect this kind of where you are, and it's a
right.
good way to kind of remind people of growth even in your own self, when they're used to you saying yes or accommodating, but no, I mean the new season now, so I need to kind of protect even my peace. Yeah, I
Right.
like you.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What have you seen has been some of the biggest challenges when it comes to just professionals in general, when it comes to really living a yes, I can lifestyle? Because it's not just about our careers, obviously, it's a lifestyle. But what have
Mhm.
you seen that you've coached and been around with for the last, say, 30 years?
I think, unfortunately, I think for a lot of women, we have a lot of fear around
Mhm.
running our own business, about handling our own finances, about what relationships might look like, right? And
Mhm.
so we shy away, we step back, we don't lean into whatever that challenge might be.
Right.
And I think it's unfortunate, right? There's many women who would like to go into business for themselves. They have a
Mhm.
passion, or they're feeling called into something, and they're not
Yeah.
sure how to go with that. And
Mhm.
I think what happens is they take a step back. And relationships, same thing, whether it's a love relationship, a family relationship, a friend relationship. I think there's some challenges sometimes where people, again, they just women in particular,
Yeah.
may hesitate or hold
Right.
back. And so, I think it's all about living your best life in all areas, and not seeing it as something selfish or self-centered. When we
Mhm.
fill ourselves, we can pour from a full cup and not an empty cup, right?
Yes.
And so that's why I do think that, looking at what your values are to start with,
Mhm.
what your dreams and goals are, and to go with them. And if you're with the right people in your life, friends, family, not
Yeah.
always, right? But they're going to champion you, right? I mean,
Right. Right.
you choose your friends, you choose your business associates, you choose your masterminds, you choose the people you're hanging out with. And so what
Yeah.
kind of support are you getting around that? And that's why support is one of those three critical
Yeah.
pillars of Yes I Can, because you need people to champion you, just as you champion others, right?
Exactly, exactly. And it's funny you said that, because that's one of the things that was like, so we just did a retreat ourselves, and this level of support is always keeps showing up, makes such a big difference, because I feel like when you're, and I'm sure you can relate to this, when you're building, doing, living, and all the things in between, you need safe places to be able to say, I'm tired, or I'm hurting, or here's my win, or whatever it might be, but to be able to be fully yourself. Because I think the word authentic gets thrown around so much. And then
Yeah.
when you really start asking yourself, am I really being really real in my relationships and in my community that I'm growing, within? And it
Mhm.
really empowers women differently when you can have that space. And I know you speak a lot about the inner circle and the people in your community.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that, and I've written an article that I believe is going into the magazine at some point
Yeah.
about relationships, and more specifically about. I wrote it from a love relationship piece, but it really speaks to any relationship, and
Yeah.
just having that person. I never experienced that in my first
Mhm.
marriage, right? Having that person to be able to go to and really be able to share fully and let down,
Yeah.
and there is such a there is such an amazing thing that happens when you have that person in your life, whether
Yes.
it is a significant other, or
Yeah.
that girlfriend, or that coach, or, like you said, that person where there is 100% trust, where you can be 100% yourself
Yeah.
and not have to worry about sharing how you're really feeling, and the challenges you're really facing.
Yeah. Makes a big difference.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, another side of you that I've been around. Two iterations of you. So I would love for you to talk about pivoting. I remember when you mentioned the first the magazines you had, and I remember being a part of that. And I know you went through a season where you knew it was time to pivot. And then
Mhm.
obviously you mentioned about just in your personal life, you knew there was a time to, okay, I got to step out of this relationship. And pivoting and transitions can also be a challenging thing for people. How did you know personally when it was time to make a pivot in different seasons of your life?
Mhm. That's an interesting question, and
Mhm.
I'm actually kind of in the middle of the next pivot, right?
Okay.
Only in the sense that, right, I was married in January, and
Right.
so there's a pivot that goes along with that. So, about 6 or 7 years ago, when my ex-husband and I made the decision that the marriage was over, right? And
Right.
um, that, and going into coaching full time, just
Mhm.
before that, and what that looks like, and being the Yes I Can coach. And I did a lot of sharing of that story, that I
Yeah.
mentioned at the beginning too, right? My health issues, my son, my marriage, my weight, were definitely a difficult season, and
Yeah.
being transparent about going through that, and then taking those tools and using them to go into the Yes I Can coaching full on.
Right.
And as I mentioned to you before we got in here too, a little bit about, as I have ended that season of my life, and
Yeah.
moved into a new relationship and getting
Right.
married, and all the things that go along with it, and knew that I took his name, I've changed my name, I've done all that. And so looking at, okay, what does that mean? And also we'd looked at doing some things together, I am definitely leaning more into my spiritual coaching side and really embodying that. And so that means, leaving the CathyAlessandra.com, that I had forever, and all of
Yeah.
that went with that, and changing things over to more of that, yes, I can, and Cathy Johnson. And, I was talking about even the fact, new photos. I mean, it's,
Yep.
right? Because I'm in a new place, I'm in a new space. There's new energy, there's new excitement, there's new, right? I mean, there's just,
Exactly.
so, but I do think it's also important. I do want to note this, that as you're going through a change of seasons, it's not one of those, snap your fingers and it's through, right? When I went through that first change of season, there was probably a year or two in there of some extreme difficulty, some challenges, and depression and frustration. And as I've gone into this new season, as exciting as it is,
Right.
it's stepping back and looking at, all right, where do I want to go in this next season? Fall is actually the perfect time, right? It's a
Yeah,
perfect
it
metaphor
is.
for this. As
It is.
the leaves are falling away, and what does that new season look like? What does the new me, the new business, how does that get represented as Cathy Johnson now, as the
Right.
Yes I Can coach, and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I think it's important to remember that you need to pause. And I have a hard time doing that. I don't typically let much grass grow under my feet,
Yeah.
and that
Same here.
served me well. It has. But I've
Right.
also learned that taking time in prayer, and just being with Spirit and listening to God's voice, and just holding off a second or two, to see where that
I
goes.
preach to the choir here, because that's me. I've learned to slow down, and I've learned to just be still, so I can really hear what I really need to be focusing on, and not so much what I think I need to be focusing on.
Mhm. Yes,
Big
yes,
difference. So I
yes.
know you wrote a
There is.
book. Tell us a little bit about your book on Yes, I Can.
Yes. Yes, thank you so much for publishing it for me.
Yeah.
Yes, so my latest book is Yes, You Can. The tagline: Embrace your journey and unlock your potential. And I was
Yeah.
very excited to have 6 other women come on board with me to share their Yes, I Can stories.
Yeah.
And so it is a compilation book, and inspiring women who have faced challenges, such as death. Really, I
Yeah.
mean, there was one
Yeah.
who had some serious health challenges, in all of their, what they've done, and then how they use that "Yes, I Can" mantra, or whatever their mantra is,
Right.
to take it to that next level, or to go into that next season, or to find that joy or that contentment. And so the book is available on Amazon, but
Yeah.
it's and yeah, it was so inspiring. It was time to share other women's Yes I Can stories. I mean, I had done that on a podcast and some other things, but I think in
Yeah.
writing, we all need to know that, sometimes we think we're the only one going through it,
Yeah.
or we're the only one that's facing a challenge. And the fact
Yeah.
is everyone is facing something, big
That's
or
so
small.
true.
You just don't know. And so these inspiring women and their motivating stories,
Yeah.
are now told, so others can grab onto that and see that
Yeah.
hope for themselves.
I think one of the good things about having a book like yours, and I encourage everyone to get a copy, obviously, is that sometimes you may not be in a season of a lot of change, but you can't always, in my opinion, keep those kind of resources near you, because we all keep going through seasons, no matter what. I mean, I believe you have your storms and then you have your sunshine. It's inevitable. They keep going and going. And sometimes hearing someone's stories, even if it's not exactly your story, hearing how they were resilient, how they maybe, in my opinion, like, hearing someone how they problem solve a situation can give me ideas on how I can approach something that I'm doing. It's always good, I think, just to keep the space of learning and listening to people's stories, and just, I don't know, just being open, because you just never know when you're in a situation where that one piece of advice can make a whole world of difference for yourself or someone else.
Yeah.
That's why I love the whole Yes I Can, because it keeps you, in my opinion, in a place of positivity, but more so focus. Like saying, yes, I can, saying, okay, the way I read it is, yes, I can. In spite of this, this, and this, yes, I can. In spite
Right.
of, things didn't go right in with this launch, I still can do it. Like, you keep having that like ebb and flow, but keeping that center focus of, yes, I can still move forward. Yes, I can. If I don't have all the resources, I can make one step today, and then the resources can show up. Like, I think if people look at it, as like you said, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
They can look at it in all different areas of their life, which I'm assuming that's kind of what your goal is to let people see it's not just a book and it's not just a program, it's a lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. It's really, and how you show up in everything that you do. Right.
Yeah.
It's that, I mean, not that I don't have days of frustration, or, I could
Yeah.
certainly get in a pity party like the best of you, of anyone, right? But having those tools in place to be able to more quickly pull ourselves out and find that sunshine, find that moment, find that hope, find that, that motivation to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Right? We're all, I humbly believe that we are all here for a purpose
Yep.
and a calling, and following that. There's no easy path, right? In all the things, I truly believe that everything that I've been through, and will continue to go through, right, is for a reason and for a learning, and taking that into the next thing that I'm doing, so that I can hopefully not have to go through the lesson again, but that I can share those lessons, and then take it to wherever God is calling me on my next season in work
Yeah.
and in life. So,
Well, tell us in closing, what all does your platform, your company offer for someone that says, you know what, I'm in a season where I really want to be guided and having different thought process and would like to kind of really adopt a yes, I can lifestyle. What does that
mhm.
look like for them?
So there's a few different things. I had over the last couple of months, I scaled back a little bit. Like you said, seasons. I
Yeah.
had been helping at our local chamber of commerce, and there's an issue. There's something that's come up that I've had to put some, again, pause. I
Right.
think God put this pause in there for a reason, so I could do that. But as I'm coming back into that, so there is, obviously, I do personal one-on-one coaching. There's going to be a new program that I'm launching. That's a group, kind of a group program that's actually going to lead into my Scotland retreat for 2025. That people can
Oh,
do just through.
cool.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
super excited. Booked the rooms, got the stuff, got,
Yeah.
and it's all going to be on there. But so it's really more about bringing women together. There is a online and in-person group called To the Table that I have felt that was definitely a God calling. I felt to bring them together in kind of a mastermind format,
Yeah.
but it's also with a very faith-based approach.
Yeah.
And so I run one of those live and in person here in Los Angeles. And then with this new program I'm offering, it's going to be also offered online. So I'm
Okay.
super excited about that. And,
Yeah.
just how a safe place for women to explore what their faith looks like in their business and growth, and what their calling may be, what their purpose may be. And all of that's going to be happening over on yesicanliving.com. So, oh, yeah, excited about that.
Well, we'll make sure to put all your information up. Obviously, when people look at this, they're going to see your information. But I would love to know, just in closing again, kind of like a Benedictine church, I got a double closing here. Any closing thoughts for the women that are watching here today, just overall when it comes to Yes, I Can?
Keep on going. Keep on going. Find that support system that you need in whatever area that you need it.
Yeah.
Make some space for yourself to, pray, to ponder, to really be in that space and that presence. And, make sure that the self-care piece, take care of you. And, whether that's your health, whether that's your finances, whether that's relationships, whatever it is, really find that place of grounding, that place of center, because once you're actually able to, and I know you talk about this all the time,
Yeah.
the finding that place of center, and being able to, for me in the morning, every morning, start in a place with God and know that he hears my prayers, he is walking the day with me, whatever challenges come up I can face. That really is how I live Yes I Can now, with him riding shotgun. So yeah. So I encourage everybody to really find that place of
Yeah.
how you go, whatever that is for you, whether it's reading the Bible, whether it's devotions, whether it's meditation, whatever it is, but find that so that you can find your yes, I can within.
I love that. Thank you. Well, thank you for joining us, Cathy. I appreciate your time. And I
Thank you
just
so
want
much
to
for having me.
Oh, no, of course, of course. And I just want to encourage everyone to get a copy of the book or plug into all that Cathy is doing because we all know mindset is such a big, 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 big thing. But I love the approach that Cathy's taking is that's just a mindset, it's a lifestyle. And having a lifestyle of yes, I can in each area of your life. And I have to say one small note. I remember when you made one of your major pivots and you're losing all the weight and you came out in that green dress dancing on the stage. I just thought that was such a powerful moment. The imagery is still there. And I just remember thinking that you were just so alive. And I knew that was probably one pivot in your life where you were making some big changes and really
Yeah.
stepping. And I don't think you were calling yes, I can at that point. But you were
Mm-mm.
just coming into a new season of really just empowering yourself and taking control of your health and everything.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. No, it's, and it's not like we don't touch back on those seasons again. Like I
Yeah.
mentioned, I've had a hip replacement at the beginning of the year. And so stepping back into making health and that kind of thing, a number one priority. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a huge pivot season.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna let you get out.
Oh,
But
thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much.
Kimberly.
You're welcome. And bye, everyone. Stay tuned for our future Behind Her Brand Leadership Talk Series, where like I said, we're interviewing some amazing women, and I just encourage you to plug into them. And if you see someone that we're interviewing, and you know people that could really benefit, share. If nothing else, you guys know I'm really big on that. Let's support each other, not just in words, but in action too. All right, take care and God bless.